Once again, I'm very grateful that I'm amongst friends of the resistance to celebrate the International Women's Day and to greet all the Iranian women who have surprised the whole world with their uprising. And to the brave Iranian women who have prepared the ground for this uprising, and all to PMOI members who have been struggling for many years for the freedom of the Iranian people, and they have stood in the face of the mullahs, and all the supporters of this resistance who have been supporting the Iranian people. And finally, above all, to Mrs. Maryam Rajavi, the flag bearer of this resistance. I had prepared a speech for International Women's Day, but when I came to Brussels today, I remembered some past memories, which I decided to tell you about them, about my past memories from these cities. I know that some young people don't remember these. Today in Brussels, I remember that I have been with this resistance for 34 years ago. I joined this resistance with my late husband, Mr. Ahmad Ram. We joined this resistance, and in this city, we had many demonstrations, which some of you, I'm sure you have participated in them. I remembered one of those demonstrations. There was one scene which some of the artists, members of this resistance, they performed a piece, and my late husband played a flute piece which he had prepared for the National Liberation Army. And I also remember the late Marzia, the great artist who joined this resistance at the age of 72. She left everything she had behind and she joined this resistance. And she used always to say that she drew her inspiration from Mrs. Rajavi. And also I remembered other artists, very famous artists who are not with us anymore today, including Ms. Marjan, who is not with us, who after being released from prison and coming to abroad, who joined the resistance, and Mr. Sakhai and Mr. Andrani, who will always be remembered in our resistance. I remembered in Brussels, in this city, I had the honor that in the meetings which Mrs. Rajavi participated in the European Parliament, and she made speeches for the members of the European Parliament to inform them about the situation in Iran and to tell them to end the appeasement policy with Iran. These meetings were continuing for many years, not only in Brussels, but also in many other countries, including UK, France, and Switzerland, and US. And all these meetings was taking place with the presence of thousands of supporters of the resistance. And I have to mention about the annual gatherings in Paris, which apart from thousands and thousands of supporters, in each one of them more than 600-700 political dignitaries were participating in them and calling for the downfall of this regime. I'm very happy that these days many of the Iranian diaspora are present in support of the Iranian people. But we shouldn't forget that what prepared the ground for this uprising, where it started from. And we must tell the young people that this movement and this resistance started more than 40 years ago with a great price which Mujahideen paid. But the main point, apart from the political activities, not only me, but all the members of this resistance, remember, is the human values of the Mujahideen, their kindness, their love for freedom of the Iranian people. I believe that to find similar people to them is very rare. And I congratulate this day to all the Iranian women and the women around the world. And I hope that the next International Women's Day, we can celebrate it in Iran. And I hope that, and I am glad that today, and I'm very honored to just recount some of the activities of the Mujahideen. It's an honor for me, and I salute all of you and Mrs. Rajavi. The crowd is chanting down with the oppressor, be it Shah or be the leader. Now I'm going to read you the speech that I had prepared, some parts of it. These days, the regime's agents are poisoning the young girls in the schools, and they are taking revenge on them. And it's continuing in the schools every day. And the leaders of this regime are trying to cover it up and to cover the role of the mullahs in this criminal act. We call on all the governments around the world to make this regime pay for these crimes, and the crimes which is inflicting of the young children in Iran. The UN reporter on discrimination against women must warn the regime, and the European countries must recall their ambassadors from Tehran. Khamenei is trying to send people back to their homes and to prevent them from continuing the uprising. Is using the Shah's son, and the Shah's son is still living in the cuckoo's land, in dreams about returning to Iran. He's trying to play the role of the leader of the resistance, and he's repeating all the jargons and all the rubbish which the regime has been telling about the resistance. But all the resistance units and all the brave people in Iran or from up and down the country, they are rejecting both these dictatorships, and they are saying, down with the oppressor, be it Shah or be the leader. The crowd, the